Hello, NuPIC. This is NuPIC Development Progress Review. It is November 14th, 2014. So we're going to start off with a look at our roadmap. The first thing to note is that we've changed the name of our milestone from alpha to 0.1 and beta to 0.2. Which makes more sense. So we're starting right off with semantic versioning. Hopefully we can get to a 1.0 at some point in the future. Big goal for me is to try and get this alpha, or excuse me, the 0.1 release done by the end of the year, which was a goal I set at the beginning of this year. So it would be awesome if we could get there. Another cool thing to note is you can see we're making progress. We're at 33 of 72 tickets resolved. 2 weeks ago at our last meeting we were at 9 of 67. So we went from 13% complete to 46% complete. If we keep up that velocity, we will reach our goal of closing out this milestone by the end of the year. So here's hoping we can keep it up. Speaking of progress, here's just a quick review of all of the tickets that were closed on this milestone. Most of these were closed within the past 2 weeks, so everybody's doing a lot of great work, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So I want to review some of these initiatives for this milestone. These have changed since the last meeting that we had. Last meeting they were a lot more general, and I mentioned that I didn't like that, and I wanted to clean them up a bit. So we've organized these, I think, in a better way. So we've got one for the release process itself that I've been working on. There's some big chunks of work to get done on this, especially packaging NuPIC for Linux and OS X, which should be part of the release process. They've still got the temporal memory C++ implementation ongoing. And then another big one is that NuPIC should build with, assuming that NuPIC Core is a standard external library. And it looks like, Austin, you just sent a couple PRs regarding, I think this one, NuPIC Core is installable as a standalone library, so making progress, that's great. That's a big chunk of the work. We also have the serialization upgrade to a platform-independent model. I don't think we've made any progress on that, but hopefully we can. Hopefully, Scott, you'll have time to do that before the year. And then a lot of the build improvements that we had in our last meeting have been categorized better into this ticket: improve the build framework for NuPIC Core C++ development. And there's a bunch of subcategories here, or subtasks here, that are not assigned. So I sent an email to NuPIC hackers today or yesterday, I don't remember, asking for help. If anybody wants to get involved, if you've got experience building and compiling C++, we could probably use your expertise
and then a lot of build improvements that we had in our last meeting have been categorized better into.
Does anybody else hear that?
Or NuPIC Core C++ development. And there's a bunch of subcategories here, or subtasks here.
Do you guys hear that really long echo, or is that just me?
So I sent an email to NuPIC hackers today or yesterday,
Hello?
I don't remember.
Can you guys hear me at all? What is going on? Okay, wow. I can't hear you guys, so I don't really know what's going on. You're laughing, I can tell that. Should we continue? Or should we start over? I'm just going to continue and assume. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. All right. And at the bottom of each of these milestones, there's these standalone issues that don't really fit into a group. Some of these are issues community has created. A lot of them Mark is working on. but they don't quite fit into one of these major initiatives that we have in the top, but there's still things we think are important enough to get fixed within that milestone. So they're sitting here at the bottom. Okay, so those are our major initiatives. One thing I do want to point out and make sure that we all agree upon is how we're dealing with. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you not hear me?
We were getting like two of you for a little bit there.
Oh my God.
But I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I forgot.
But it's better now. There's only one of me now.
Yep, there's only one of you. All right.
Okay. Where was I guess. So I was talking about standalone issues at the bottom and super issues of major initiatives sort of at the top. But everything in this milestone we want to try and get done in order to release 0.1. So chime in, you guys, if something weird happens again, so I can stop. In the meantime, I'll just continue on. So what I was about to talk about is the user experience versus the developer experience. This is, I think, a discussion we were having on this ticket where we were drafting out sort of what we think the build should look like. And there's quite a bit of discussion here, but the gist of it is we want to make the build easier for developers, especially for C++ developers that are going to be working on NuPIC Core, but also for Python developers working on NuPIC. So we want this integration between NuPIC and NuPIC Core to be cleaner and easier and more flexible. So Austin has been working on that, which is great. But I also want to point out that we still have an initiative. Let me scroll down here to our 0.2 milestone. We still have an initiative to get pip install NuPIC working. This, in my opinion, this is the end-all user installation experience here. So when we get to this point and it is complete, any user of NuPIC who will not be working with the NuPIC source code, who just wants to use it, should be able to just pip install NuPIC, and that will be that, and not have to worry about anything else. Then they can import NuPIC in their Python scripts, etc., and everything will be set up. That's how we want users to use NuPIC. And when you pip install a Python module, it should get the latest stable release. So we have to have a release here of 0.1 before we can get to pip install NuPIC, because getting the release in place means we're going to be publishing binaries, and then we can work on getting pip install NuPIC to put the binaries, the proper binaries, in the proper places in the user's environments. But we don't want to degrade the developer experience in order to do this. So we're in 0.1, we're focusing more on the development experience of NuPIC Core and NuPIC. And eventually we'll get to a point where the README installation instructions for users for NuPIC will just be pip install NuPIC, and horns will play and flags will wave and everyone will be extremely happy. So that's the idea. I hope you guys in the office also agree with that. If you don't, we should talk. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's do a quick review of the open PRs, and then we'll most likely finish up pretty quickly. So the oldest are on the top here. Anomaly strict is Mark. It is currently erroring on the build, and it's in his core. The Windows build implementation is a PR that's really not mergeable. They're aware of that. The guys that are working on this are just trying to get NuPIC building in Windows. Once they get to a certain amount of progress done, we'll talk about how we can get a version of that merged in. Another few from Mark. These three are all Mark's PRs, and they are either failing or erroring, and the ball's in his court for those. And again, the anomaly parameter is exposed, I think, is pending one last review from Mark. or Scott just did a review. I just want Mark to take a look at it real quick, address the 1 or 2 comments he left, and then that should be mergeable pretty easily. So that would be good. This utensils review here is a corollary to the Windows build. He's simplified that PR, so there's a bit of discussion going on there. There is a NAB PR that I'm not too concerned about, and then some more recent PRs that Chayton is actively working on. This is for numenta.org. That's nothing important. And then Austin's recent PRs working towards getting NuPIC Core built as a standard library. So there is not a whole lot of action for us to take right now on these that's not already being taken. So we're in a pretty good place for PRs. We've got some old ones, but they are most of the old ones are in Mark's court. Have anything else to go over? I think that's all that I wanted to go over. I think we're pretty much all on the same page. I'm really happy with the progress that we've been making over the past month or so since the hackathon. So I just want to give everybody a quick kudos for that. So thanks for all of your hard work. Do you guys in the office want to discuss anything in particular? Sounds like a no. All right. Well, that's it. Quick meeting. Good progress. Let's keep it up. If anybody is looking for work, please go to the roadmap and pick something in 0.1. That's we're really pushing all of the issues in this 0.1 milestone here. That's what we're trying to get to. Of course, you can work on other issues, but we're not going to put nearly as much emphasis on those as the ones that are listed here in our roadmap. So that's a wrap. You guys take care. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye, guys.
Bye.